Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a very quick review of genre and modes, which we've kind of been talking about and working in the class and prepping, but it's really kind of coming into play in your decision making for your digital essay. And then we're also going to go over a couple of digital tools and design concepts that will hopefully kind of help you when you're making some choices and things in designing your digital essay. So we're going to start with genre, just a quick review in digital and academic writing that, remember, genres are types of texts. So when you're thinking about your digital essay, it's whether or not you're trying to use features of a digital like magazine article or an opinion piece in a newspaper or an editorial, or whether you want it to look more like a website that's heavily designed and raises awareness, or you really want it to look like a linear like digitally enhanced academic essay like some of the examples, or you want it to look more like a digitally enhanced like professional like scholarly article because your audience is scholars. I recommend not doing that unless you really are trying to write to other scholars. You want your genre choice to be appropriate. So if you're writing to more of kind of an average audience, maybe if you were writing to people that were like maybe like 20 to 30, educated, involved in politics, you might be looking for, you want to make sure you put it in front of them in a genre that they would be reading already. So possibly magazine or news source. If you're really trying to raise awareness, you might be thinking about a like website option that allows for a lot of visual aids and images and videos and things like that, a lot more design. If you're thinking about parents, then you might want to think about like a parenting magazine. So you want to think about a genre that's going to let you put what you're working on in front of this audience and what's going to be appropriate for your topic. So with that in mind, let me just move my face again up here. We're going to review the 5 ways genre is going to impact features of the text you're working with. So if you're working on a news article, that genre is going to have rules that determine content, organization, format, language, there's some style, all of those things. So in a sense, if you're working on, let's say, like a website, you're going to have to make choices in terms of figuring out what kind of information is supposed to be included in this. How is it supposed to be organized? How is it supposed to look? How does it typically look? Especially thinking about like an organization, a website that's there to like build awareness and build interest, and help people really understand an issue. How is it supposed to sound? So you have to think about here, is this supposed to be more formal? Is it okay to be more casual? Am I allowed to use like bullet points? Am I allowed, is it supposed to be more essayistic, or can it be more like digitally designed? How is the, and that kind of goes into also how is the sentence structure supposed to be and supposed to look, and what are the rules there in terms of grammar and citations and things like that. You'd be making these choices also if you were looking at a magazine. Or if you were making other kinds of choices, for like if you were writing something you were going to put in like Huffington Post or another newspaper that's more like an opinion piece, or if you were going to do a digitally enhanced essay. And then several of the samples also choose to do a non-linear essay where they have more of a homepage that's self-navigable. And this really comes into play when you have more of a scholarly topic, or something that really doesn't, that really can be kind of self-guided, where you can have lots of maybe like an intro and information about the topic on the homepage, and then people can kind of click through some different topics that are available on different pages. So you could think about that also as an option. Possibly a blog. I've had lots of people do like a blog series for their essay, but again, those are, when you're thinking about how they look, they can be very visual. They are more essayistic, and they're also very casual in terms of their tone. For example, and blogs are okay. Remember we talked about academic blogs and still making sure, even though you're writing more casually, that you are still adhering to academic standards for how you're using sources and research. So again, kind of tying this back into the fact that genres and text, so all types of text are multimodal. Remember, readers read with all 5 pathways, these 5 pathways. So readers, when we're looking at anything, whether it's a text, it's somebody's outfit, it's a web page, it's social media, it doesn't matter what it is, we make decisions based on the written mode, so the words that are there, and so like word choice, language choice. We make decisions based on what we hear, and even in like written text, that can also be like the tone that the author adopts. Visual, so what we see, it's the images and the color schemes and things like that. So it's important to choose an appropriate like design and color scheme for your essay. Gestural, so that's again like body language and things like that. But if you're talking about written text, that's, sorry, you might be able to hear my dog howling in the background. Sorry. So in a written text, that's questions that you ask, that's the order that you put the ideas in, because again, I said like one of the options you have is maybe to start with a guiding question, because you're gesturing to your readers to keep an open mind to consider this question, and then you are going to guide them to your statement or your solution or whatever it is by the end. When you provide links for people to read more, you're selecting those links and you're nudging them to watch these videos, view these images, read this information. Spatial, so how things are laid out and designed and the proportion they are to each other, which things you're putting emphasis on by making them larger, smaller, things like that.